Hello everyone, here's your weather hazard briefing for the last Saturday here in November, and we've been talking about once we got our warm weather out of the way earlier during the Thanksgiving break, we're going to see some cold temperatures, and those are here to stay for a while. We do have our next round of precipitation moving through. With it being cold, this pretty much should be all snow, even at the lowest elevations, and those highest amounts are basically staying south of the Snake River, south of the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley. We might see a little bit of snow along the bench areas and also on the 84-86 corridor, even up towards Idaho Falls as well. We have a break for Monday, then we have another round coming in for Tuesday, and then we have a day or two break after that, and potentially even a better chance of snow by the time we get to the end of next week. Satellite. Already seeing some clouds moving in ahead of our system. The system, it will be coming from Canada once again, and as the system drops southeast, it starts to develop a closed low, and that is going to basically cross right over the heart of the state. That puts most of the precipitation in the central mountains down into western Idaho, down south, and then kind of wrapping back up towards Driggs, Idaho Falls, Rexburg, in that area. Basically up around Limhi County, up towards Island Park. Little to any snow, if any snow falls from this system. That's all we're expecting in those areas with this particular event coming through. Our impacts for tomorrow, nothing too major. We might have to see if those impacts down in the southeast highlands and the south hills, that might be a little bit more than we're currently expecting, but there'll be some snow on some of those passes. And again, places like Burley, Idaho Falls, Pocatello, and those bench areas could see an inch or so of snow with this event tomorrow, depending on how far north that precipitation extends once it shifts into southwest Idaho into northern Utah. I have a few showers on Monday. Like I said, a bit of a break, not a full break for everyone. The next round coming in for Tuesday, and again, the highlands are going to get the bulk of this precipitation event. Wednesday, we still have some lingering showers and moving on through the rest of the week. So not a ton of moisture each time, but we're just going to kind of add to the content, whether it's snowpack in the mountains or just overall precipitation down in the lower elevations. So how are things going to go for today? We start our radar simulation, what your radar would look like if you're looking at it on your favorite app or on the computer. And we'll see some very light precipitation, maybe nothing more than some flurries developing late this afternoon over the central mountains into portions of southwest Idaho and coming in across Washington and Oregon. But you'll notice as we go into the overnight hours, a little bit of moisture trying to fall up north, but again, little to nothing really expected from that. But as you go into tonight and tomorrow morning, you can see the bulk of the moisture, the central mountains starting to quickly shift south and east from there. And the bulk of it's going to be falling down around south of Twin towards Jackpot, Pomerelle, Malad Summit, the southeast corner, trying to get back up towards the big holes and wrapping a little bit around into the far upper end of the Snake Plain. Not as far north likely than Rexburg out towards the INL. And again, farther south you are with this, the better chance of seeing some measurable precipitation, and this will continue to shift into Utah as we go into tomorrow, and that quickly starts winding down during the afternoon, and by the time we get to late afternoon, early evening, maybe a few straggling showers down across the Bear River Range and the higher elevations there in the southeast corner. So looking at how we're looking temperature-wise today, it's going to be pretty chilly in some areas, in the 30s for afternoon highs, maybe 40 in Burley, low 40s as you get towards the Utah border. Certainly some 40s as you head over into the Treasure Valley. So a far cry from some of these 50s we have seen off and on for the past couple of days across the area. Tonight, temperatures dropping off into the teens and 20s across the region as the cold air continues to filter in. The bulk of the moisture, like we've been talking about, light amounts across the Sawtooth, the Wood River Valley, the surrounding mountains into the Magic Valley, into areas across south central Idaho, and a few showers trying to fall once you get over towards Sweetser Summit, over towards Malad Summit, and the Bear River Range. This is overnight tonight. Precipitation amounts, if you're looking at just snow, very light accumulations. Might see barely an inch down west of Oakley, also into the Sawtooth and the surrounding areas there, the surrounding higher elevations there. Going into tomorrow, temperatures in the 30s. Trying to find a 40-degree afternoon high on Sunday is going to be very hard to come by until you probably get out into the Treasure Valley. Otherwise, we're looking at highs in the 30s, 20s up in the mountains. And there's that precipitation shield shifting across the South Hills, the Albion Mountains, into the southeast corner into southwest Wyoming and northern Utah. A little bit of that band sticking across the portions of the Magic Valley into the Snake Plain, trying to get over into the Teton Valley, the big holes in the south end of the Tetons for tomorrow. Light snow expected. We might eke out an inch, a little over an inch, places like Burley, Rockland, American Falls, Pocatello, especially on the benches. Not much there, but quickly. Once you get to Pomerelle, we're talking about 2 to 5 or 6 inches. The same across the southeast highlands, especially across portions of the Bear River Range. A couple of inches on Malad Summit tomorrow. Might be a bit slick, trying to go over Immigration Summit tomorrow as well. And this should be quickly done by the time we get to sunset tomorrow evening. For Monday, temperatures even cooler, single digits and teens for overnight lows. Over afternoon highs barely hitting 40 in some areas. Maybe we get down to get up to around 40 or so down towards Malta in that direction. Otherwise, 40s once you get into portions of the Magic and Treasure Valleys for Monday. Tuesday, we don't see much change in the temperatures. A little bit warmer at night as we have some clouds and some precipitation trying to move in Monday night into Tuesday. And again, Wednesday, not much of a change there. So just cooler weather, and this is actually finally back to where we should be for this time of year. We were running there for a few days at 10 to 15 degrees above normal. And just quickly going to take a look at things. We talked about that system coming in for Tuesday. Trying not to get into some particular specific numbers at the moment for that event on Tuesday. But you'll notice most of this is going to be across the southeast corner into the eastern highlands. And we've set the threshold at 4 inches or more in the mountains. You're looking at the potential of about 15 to 20% in some areas. Once you get into the big holes, up into the Tetons, we're at about 30 to 40% chance of seeing more than 4 inches of snow with that. So certainly another round coming, not a heavy event, and this is going to be mainly, again, for the higher elevations. Have a great Saturday. Have a great rest of your holiday weekend, and do stay safe, everyone.